An all-time legend and one of the most popular players in the sport. That is just a good business decision, giving them a wild card. Venus and Alex Eala.
They can still sell so many tickets in terms of Venus and Serena and obviously Eala, one of the more popular players around the globe. So a lot of it comes down to that, Steve. But also legends, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the Williams sisters, so they should be able to get in wherever they want.
Why aren't the Williams sisters playing with each other? They were a pretty good doubles team.
What if one of the greatest champions in tennis history looked across the court, scanned an entire tournament field filled with experienced professionals, Grand Slam veterans, and established doubles specialists, and then decided that the player she wanted beside her was a young star from the Philippines who was only beginning to write her story?
It's incredible. I think I did not think that I would be able to experience that in my lifetime, to be on the tour while Serena is competing as well. And of course, she is the great and such an inspiration. So to be able to see that firsthand and experience the tour at the same time as her is something I'll remember for life. Even if maybe I don't get any interactions with her, it would still be an honor to just be in that same space.
Incredible stuff. Well, you're an inspiration as well to so many tennis players.
That sounds like the kind of sports movie script that would get rejected for being too unrealistic. Yet that is exactly the situation that unfolded when Venus Williams teamed up with Alex Eala and together produced one of the most fascinating stories of the tournament.
To Filipina tennis star Alex Eala, who opens her singles campaign against Croatia's Donna Vekic in the first round of the main draw. Eala comes in as the number 4 seed and one of the highest ranked players in the field. Vekic, currently outside the top 60, is a player whose resume goes well beyond her.
What began as a partnership that many viewed with curiosity quickly transformed into a genuine headline. And now the tennis world is watching after Eala and Williams fought their way into the quarterfinals and made history along the way. The story is remarkable because it brings together two athletes who represent completely different eras of tennis.
Stand by on board for the top 3 seeds, but a good one for Venus Williams and Alex Eala. Venus and Alex won their opening doubles match in Germany, taking down Alexandra Osborn and Catherine Harrison 6-3, 6-4. Even though this was straight sets, it was a very tight match, and Venus and Alex only won 4 more points than their opponents. On the last point, Venus clinched the win in style with this excellent backhand down the line winner. It's great to see Venus get another win, especially after that heartbreaking singles loss to Begu, and it's her second doubles win of 2026. She and Alex will take on the second seeds Olivia Nichols and Teresa Mihalikova.
On one side stands Venus Williams, a player whose name helped shape an entire generation of the sport. Long before social media highlights dominated sports coverage, Venus was already rewriting expectations, collecting titles, and helping transform women's tennis into a global spectacle. Her achievements are so extensive that listing them all would probably require its own tournament schedule. On the other side stands Alex Eala, one of the brightest young talents to emerge from the Philippines in recent years.
Alex Eala, I know. I haven't talked about her victory versus the number 2 player in the world. What I will say is that she beat the number 1 server on tour on grass, which is amazing. But more importantly, she's playing doubles with Venus Williams. And this is a lead-up tournament for both of them for Wimbledon. I'm liking this for Eala because she's going to learn how to practice from a Hall of Famer standpoint. As well as, man, Venus Williams is going to get a lot of new eyes from those fans from the Philippines from Alex Eala. This is great for tennis, how they're playing with all the young players. That's both Serena as well as Venus. This is amazing.
Unlike Venus, who entered this event carrying decades of accomplishments, Eala arrived carrying something entirely different. She carried possibility. She carried momentum. Most importantly, she carried the growing belief that she belongs among the sports elite. That belief has not appeared overnight. Only a short time ago, many tennis fans viewed Alex Eala as a promising prospect with exciting potential. There was talent, there was determination, and there were flashes of brilliance, but questions still remained about how quickly she could establish herself against the world's best players. Tennis history is filled with talented young athletes who showed promise but struggled to take the next step. Eala appears determined to avoid becoming part of that list. With every tournament, she has continued proving that her success is not based on hype or social media excitement. It is based on results. She has earned victories against respected opponents, demonstrated impressive composure under pressure, and shown a level of confidence that continues to surprise even experienced observers of the sport. Apparently, Venus Williams noticed as well. Professional athletes do not make important decisions randomly. When selecting using a doubles partner, players consider chemistry, communication, court awareness, playing style, and trust. In a sport where points can be decided within seconds and matches can change through a single mistake, trust becomes incredibly valuable.
That be, and obviously anytime that they enter a tournament, the ticket sales, I remember in Austin this year, they made a last minute announcement that Venus was coming, and they said the tickets sold out immediately once her name was announced. And so that's just how good they are, and what they do for our sport. And I can only imagine if they both play doubles together, what those tickets would look like.
That'd be incredible.
That is why Venus choosing Alex Eala immediately captured attention. The decision was not simply about filling a double spot on a tournament schedule. It was a public acknowledgement that one of tennis's most respected figures believed Eala could perform on one of the sport's biggest stages. Naturally, that created enormous excitement among fans. Suddenly, people were no longer discussing only the individual talents of Venus Williams or Alex Eala. They were discussing the possibility of what could happen when those talents combined. Could the experience of a legend blend perfectly with the fearless energy of a rising star? Could a partnership that seemed unexpected on paper become one of the tournament's most dangerous teams? Most importantly, could this partnership create a moment that tennis fans would remember long after the tournament ended? As it turns out, the answers became increasingly interesting with every match. One of the most fascinating aspects of doubles tennis is that success is never guaranteed, even when talented players join forces. If talent alone decided doubles matches, every tournament would simply be won by the highest-ranked singles players available. Unfortunately for those players, tennis refuses to be that simple. Doubles requires communication that often looks almost telepathic. Partners must anticipate each other's movements, understand positioning instinctively, and make split-second decisions while the ball travels at speeds that leave very little time for.
Player, a four-time WTA singles champion, an Olympic silver medalist, and a proven big match competitor on the sport's largest stages. This is the first career meeting between Eala and Vekic on the WTA Pro Tour. It is a classic matchup: youth, confidence, and aggression against experience, power, and court awareness. Eala has already made a statement early in the tournament. In doubles action, she partners with Iva Jovic to score a major upset over tennis icon Venus Williams and top seed.
In other words, doubles tennis is basically a highly competitive version of trying to assemble furniture with someone while both of you are running at full speed. That challenge made the partnership between Eala and Williams especially intriguing. They entered the tournament carrying different strengths. Eala brought youthful energy, quick movement, aggressive baseline play, and the hunger of a player eager to prove herself. Williams brought invaluable experience, powerful shot-making, leadership, and the calm confidence that comes from spending decades competing at the highest level. Together, they created a fascinating balance. Whenever momentum shifted, Williams provided stability. Whenever opportunities appeared, focusing too much attention on Williams could leave openings for Eala. Focusing too much attention on Eala could allow Williams to take control. That strategic dilemma became increasingly obvious as the tournament progressed. The deeper Eala and Williams advanced, the more attention their partnership attracted. Fans filled social media with reactions. Tennis analysts discussed their chemistry. Supporters from the Philippines followed every result with growing excitement.
Eala found success in doubles play, advancing to the quarterfinals of a WTA grass court tournament alongside one of tennis's biggest names.
Do you know how big this is? This isn't just a doubles team. This is the most iconic sister act in tennis history, walking back onto the grass courts where they built a dynasty. Between them, Serena and Venus have won 6, count that 6 Wimbledon doubles titles together.
For Filipino tennis fans, the significance extended beyond a single tournament. Alex Eala has already become an important symbol for the future of tennis in the Philippines. Every breakthrough she achieves creates new opportunities for future generations. Every victory demonstrates that Filipino players can compete successfully on the international stage. Now, imagine adding Venus Williams to that story. Suddenly, what was already an exciting tournament run became something much bigger. It became a statement. It became evidence that Eala's reputation is growing beyond national recognition and entering the global conversation. That reality became impossible to ignore as the wins continued accumulating. The accomplishment felt both surprising and completely deserved. That combination is rare in sports. The best stories often begin as surprises before gradually convincing everyone that they were possible all along. That is exactly what happened here. The quarterfinal appearance was not simply about advancing through a tournament draw. It represented the successful merging of experience and ambition. It represented trust being rewarded. It represented a young player taking another significant step forward while learning directly beside one of the greatest champions the sport has ever produced.
Filipino in WTA history. When did you first have the feeling when you were playing in like a full stadium that you're like, wow, I'm kind of famous?
I didn't want to believe it at first. This past year, when I play in the big tournaments, the Filipinos will show up for me. It's just an amazing thing to have. This year, everything just elevated even more. Like Australia, my court. I saw some videos afterwards. It was just crazy. It was madness. We've hit spots that have just been super Filipino fact.
For Venus Williams, the achievement added yet another memorable chapter to a legendary career. For Alex Eala, it may represent something even more important. It may represent a glimpse of what the future holds. Because if a tennis legend sees enough potential in Alex Eala to choose her as a partner, and if that partnership can immediately produce historic results, then perhaps the biggest question is no longer whether Eala belongs among the sport's rising stars. The bigger question is how long it will take before people stop calling her a rising star altogether and start calling her exactly what she is becoming, a genuine force in international tennis. And if reaching the quarterfinals was only the beginning, then the next chapter of this remarkable story could become even more unforgettable. As the tournament moved into its most important stages, they were treating them as a team capable of winning matches against experienced competition. That shift in perception may have been one of the most significant developments of the entire tournament. Respect in professional tennis is never handed out as a gift. Players earn it through performances